I'm Fadi from the one-man metal band Greyfade. I'm originally Lebanese. I'm from Lebanon, but I now live in Dubai. I've been living in Dubai since 2006, Dubai, UAE. But I always go to Lebanon. I play guitar, vocals, I sing, I play a little bass and a little keyboards. I write, so basically it's a one-man band. I write
You
all
do
the music for
everything.
Greyfade. I do everything. Right now I'm working with a producer, for the recording, because honestly, I tried recording my own songs and I have actually recorded my own songs, but I'm not an engineer, so the
Ah,
quality is not that
not
good.
yet.
Not yet, exactly. But it's better, when you cooperate with people, and you have someone that, you can bounce ideas off. I mean, when you're recording your stuff and when you're writing music, and they always have their input. So I work normally with a producer to record my songs. And yes, I started Greyfade in 2012.
Mhm.
Before I had, my band in Lebanon and all that, but after I left, and then, the band members in Lebanon, one went to the States, one went to Dubai as well, and all that. So when I came to Dubai, I said, I want to work on music. I have a lot of music I want to write, and I have a lot of music I want to share with the people. As a musician, I have to express myself, basically. I have to, there's something inside that needs to go out. The ideas here, they need to go out. So I said I wanted to start a band, but getting people together is a bit difficult. And I tried that, and you call someone, let's jam over the weekend. Then last minute they cancel and all that. So said, you know what, I'm gonna do everything. I wanna do everything. I'm gonna teach myself to play bass. I'm gonna teach myself to play keyboards. I'm gonna teach myself to engineer and record my songs. And that's it. So I started recording music in 2012, and I started releasing singles, but I released my first full-length record, which was called Life, on my birthday, actually a day after my birthday in 2016, on August 6, 2016. So I always remember that date. And ever since, I've been continuously, writing and releasing music, records or singles. Now I'm releasing singles. It's more fun, actually, and to commit to one song, and basically maybe every 2 months, let's say, I'll have something new. So, and you can experiment with different sounds, okay, this single is gonna, different guitar tones, different whatever, different stuff, different styles. With a record, you need to basically commit to one sound, one guitar sound and all that. So right now I'm having fun doing singles. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna do records anymore, because that's also a nice thing, but right now it's singles, So yeah, but as Greyfade, I've released 2 full albums. Life, which was released in 2016, and in 2019 I released an album called The Change, and in 2017 I released a 5-song EP called Hopeless, Aimless, Soulless, and in between I'm always having singles. Second, what I believe, and I've been talking to some people about it, is that for underground bands, for bigger bands, the name is there, people know them. But for smaller bands, you need to always be relevant. You need to always be there for your fans. Like, there is always something new, be it an acoustic performance of a song, or a new single, or a cover song, or collaboration with someone. So you need to always be there, and it's fun, when you're always active, when you're always writing, and when you're always there with the people. So for the people and your fans, and the fan base is slowly growing. My Instagram, yes.
What is this
607? 607. So I was talking to a friend. I told them, even though I love the song, but it's a song I wish I didn't have to write, to be quite honest with you. On August 4th, 2020, at 6:07 p.m., the 4th biggest explosion in the world, in Guinness Book of Records, it's the 4th biggest explosion in history, took place in the port of Beirut, in the capital of Lebanon, my country. Actually, I was there. And I was in Lebanon. I remember I was at the beach before that. You know, it was my first trip after, you know, all the airports opened, because we were all quarantined.
Yes.
And then the airports opened, and I wanted basically to go see my family in Lebanon, you know, my parents, my sister, my brother, and their families. So I went to Lebanon, and I remember I was on the beach with my family. We then, you know, at afternoon, we were driving home. I went home, and I was in the living room of my parents' house, and I hear a rumble. You know, it's like an earthquake, actually. So automatically, I thought there's an earthquake happening. So I went, my little 4-year-old niece was in the living room. So I went, grabbed her, and I wanted to take her to, you know, protect her from what I thought was a, you know, an earthquake. Then seconds later, I hear a blast, you know, and I hear the apartment shaking, and I see the apartment shaking and the house shaking and all that. So we knew it was an explosion, but nobody knew what happened. You know, at that instant we were saying, there's a bomb under the house. You know, they assassinated someone. You know, many
your brain can.
You know, many thoughts are train of thoughts happening and happening in my head. You know, who did they assassinate and all that. You know, then we started getting all these WhatsApp videos, I mean, on my WhatsApp and all that, an explosion happened in Lebanon. So to tell you a little bit about it, it's a tragic incident. Like I said, there were some explosive material hidden in the port of Beirut, and they exploded. 200 people were killed. 5,000 people were severely injured, you know, limbs torn, eyes or whatever. 50,000 homes were destroyed. 50,000 homes. So if you take an average of 4 people living in one house, that's 200,000 people left homeless. 200,000 people. The population of Lebanon, just to give you a perspective, it's around 4 million. So that's 5% of the Lebanese population are left homeless. Not to mention all the other destruction that happened in the city. I remember the next day, I went with a friend to the actual site of the explosion. And you know, when you see a video, okay, you see it, but when you're there, and you see it with your own 2 eyes, it's a feeling I cannot explain. And I'm walking on broken glass, you know, all the glass that's broken and all that. And actually all that, I think you've seen the video. That's what I shared with you, the video. The video is basically footage of the explosion and all that. I remember days later, I went back to my house in Dubai. And, you know, all the Lebanese people, all of us really want to understand what happened. And to this day, it's not really clear, because like anything, I don't want to go into politics and all that, but like anything in politics, everybody blames everybody. It's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. In the end, you have 203 people that died, 203 that died. And as I mentioned, all the destruction that happened and all that. Literally half of the capital, Siham, was destroyed. Half of Lebanon was destroyed. We have a lot of Lebanon. Lebanon is an old country, and it has a lot of architectural places.
A beautiful country with the. I mean, I'm from my background. I'm from Morocco, so we know Beirut. Lebanon in Arabic, we say Lebanon. It's the most beautiful country, really, in.
You know, Lebanon is a very small country in the Middle East, and it's even though we have the best beaches. If you go, we have the best skiing,
best music, best artists,
thank you
best
so much.
writer, best everything. I know.
Thank you so much.
Crazy what happened to there hit us in many ways, and we still don't have answers.
Till now, everybody they say, "Oh, it's a rocket that you know, it's someone bombing the place." It's fireworks. Before the first thing they said, it's fireworks, and we're like, I mean, look at the lies. You know, fireworks destroy half of the capital. Fireworks kill 200 people, destroy 50,000 houses. Anyway, so when I was back home in my house in Dubai, you know, as an artist, like I said, I want to, there's something inside that needs to go out, and I need to share it. And I remember, you know, especially the first couple of days, all the Lebanese people, we felt that we needed to heal together. You know, we all, even thank God, or you know, I thank all my higher powers that, you know, nothing personally happened to us and my family, but we all are grieving. You know, that day I don't know how to explain, but honestly, I lost some. You feel that you lost something inside, and I wanted to write about it. So I remember I was sitting in my couch and playing with my acoustic guitar, and you know, the intro, I came up with the intro. I remember, I still have the clip, you know, on my phone. I remember sharing it with some friends, and you know, I told them this is going to be my song, and it's going to be a tribute to what happened to the, you know, to the disease, to the injured, and in general to Lebanon. And then I wanted to write the lyrics, and when I was writing, if you read closely the lyrics, the first paragraph is about me and my niece. You know, my holding your little ones tight. It's about talking about my personal experience with that. Then, and at the same point, like I said, at 6 we didn't understand what happened. Then the next verse is about my actual experience going to the site of the explosion. You know, what I personally saw when I was walking on broken glass. There's a line in that, walking on broken glass. And the third verse is about basically the whole Lebanese community, how they're feeling and how they're dealing with it. The angels rise, you know, people died, souls are rising, and all that. So it's really my tribute to, as I know it will not bring back the dead, I know it will not fix the situation. It's just my tribute to my country and and the fallen, and the little contribution I can give to the people of Lebanon. Basically, it's really a sad. Like I said, I love the song, but I always say I wish I didn't have to write it. I wish this event didn't take place, and I wish I didn't have to write it. I wish I wrote something.
I know.
Lebanon is a country with a beautiful history. Unfortunately, the people governing it are destroying that. And
I think that the youngest have to take back, you know,
and that's what's happening. You know, that's what's happening. Each one is contributing in his own way. You know, I'm a musician, I write a song. Someone else is a builder, and he goes help people build the plants. Someone else, you know what happened, and what I saw on that day, people, college students, girls and boys, carrying brooms and sticks and cleaning the streets. You know, just you know, and you know, you see someone whose house is destroyed, so someone else would come and say, you know what, I can build your door back. Someone else will say, you know what, I can build your windows back. For me as a musician, like I said, I write songs, so that's my contribution to that. You know, Sihan, the people of Lebanon, the people are beautiful. However, the politicians governing us are corrupt, and each politician has an own agenda that they are following, and they're destroying the country with it.
This is really sad, but I believe that the new generation, and you and the new generation, are going to do something. I'm 100% sure. Even if it will take another 10 years, doesn't matter.
You're absolutely right. You took the words right out of my mouth. You know, it's a battle. We have to fight it. And what I say to the people around me is that, you know, it's a battle. We shouldn't, and it's not going to be easy. You know, and taking back your home, taking back your homeland is not going to be easy. So you have to fight and fight and fight. And when you feel tired, you know, you need to fight again. And you need to...
So this is a never-ending story. And
history taught us that. I mean, you live in France. You know, the French Revolution didn't happen in one day. It took years to happen.
Exactly.
You know, so... Every country, I'm sure, has its story. Lebanon will have its story, and I'm sure, like you said, at some point, maybe, I hope it's going to be less than 10 years, but eventually we'll get there.
A little more also about you, about your background in music.
Yes. So, in Lebanon, I started listening to music. I was honestly listening when I was young. I listened to Michael Jackson, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then I remember one day a friend got the Metallica album, the Black Album, and I was listening to that song, Sad But True.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
what's this?
Mm.
And that's something I want. That's something I want to do. That's something I want. I didn't understand what it is at the stage. And in Arab countries, I'm sure, I don't know if we
I
don't
know
have
everything.
that. Back then, we didn't have that access, and you didn't have the internet in the 90s, and Spotify and all that,
Nothing. No.
Yeah,
You're
so we
right.
used to trade tapes, like I go to my friends, have you heard the song? It's called Sad But True. And they're like, oh yeah, I have the song. It's called Symphony of Destruction, Megadeth. And then someone else would say, and so I thought, even though I still love Michael Jackson to this day, but I'm like, what, this stuff is not for me. I'm a metalhead. So, and that's how I started basically, listening to Metallica, the big guys, Metallica, Megadeth, Iron Maiden, this stuff. Then a friend got me more into extreme music, like the death metal and black metal and all that, bands like Death, like Sepultura, and then later on, once I started understanding the music, I started also buying these magazines. Metal Mad TV wasn't there back then, but we had Metal Hammer, all these things. I started discovering, bands, and at some point, I started forming my own taste. Even in metal, I remember I used to I still do bands like Paradise Lost, bands like Anathema, the gothic, doomy stuff. That was my thing back then.
I love that,
Yeah. So in general, as I started getting a bit older, I started expanding my horizon a little bit, and okay, so Metallica were influenced by Black Sabbath. So I started listening to Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath were influenced by Led Zeppelin, so I started listening to Led Zeppelin. Pink Floyd, then the blues, then stuff. So right now, I listen to everything basically.
Yeah.
I love metal, and when you hear a good riff, when you hear a good heavy riff, double bass, and all that, it gets me going. And like I said, I listen to artists like Nick Cave. He's really dark, Nick Cave, even though he's not really metal, but he has that darkness.
I love his universe.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. In French, we said that he's
Aura.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole
yeah. Okay.
The whole atmosphere he creates. So I like Nick Cave.
Right.
Atmosphere. So I like Nick Cave. I like the blues because I'm a guitarist. So I like solos and all that stuff. But mostly I like metal. And the bands I gravitate to are Metallica, Iron Maiden, Paradise Lost, Anathema.
Anathema.
I was and Machine Head, Sepultura, Ghost. I love Ghost. I actually, before the pandemic, I saw them in Belgium. Ghost. I like Ghost. I like Behemoth. Now Satyricon, that Norwegian.
Yes.
So I listen to everything, and if you listen to my music, it has a mixture of everything. It has some the EP Hopeless, Aimless, Soulless. It has tints of black metal, and there are heavy songs with growls and all that, and there are slower ballads like 607, like other stuff. So basically, what I listen to is incorporated in my music, and it's mixed and matched with my own style. Then when I was around 13, I said I wanna be a musician.
Yeah.
So I bought a guitar. I taught myself. I'm not taught by a teacher or something. I taught myself to play guitar, listening to the bands I like. Then as kids we were 13 and we formed a small band, and my neighbor is a drummer, so he's gonna be the drummer, I'm gonna be the guitarist, he's gonna be the bassist, X is gonna be the other guitarist, and slowly and surely we recorded with my band in Lebanon, my old band in Lebanon, our first song at the age of 17. It's called Alone in the End. When I listen to it, I love it. I mean, it's one of my favorite songs because it's our favorite. It's the first song we recorded. It's basically a Scorpions ripoff. I'll be very honest with you. You know, we basically were listening to Scorpions and we said, you know, we want to write something similar, and came out like that. But but it's fine, you know. And when I listen to it nowadays, you know, it's not about the song. It's about the memories it brings. You know, with my friends, like, you know, like we were very excited to go into the studio. I remember, you know, we weren't allowed to drive, you know, so we had our parents drive us. We were too young to drive, so we had our parents drive us to the studio with our guitars and all that. And you know, we have to wear black because you know, we're metalheads, you know. Yeah, you know, and recording the song. So you know, we were school students, so we didn't have money, so we were like saving our lunch money to record the song, you know. Okay, so instead of eating lunch, we were saving that so that we had enough money to go into a studio and record the song. So like I said, the song is nice, but when I listen to it, I remember those times. So that's how I started playing music. And you know, later on, everyone around me said, oh, okay, you know, you're still a teenager. By the time you grow up, you're gonna sell your guitar, and then you're gonna work and wear a suit and tie, and you know, and cut your hair. I had long hair back then, and you know, and you'll forget about that. But for some reason, even though when I wasn't very good back then at the guitar, but I was always writing stuff, you know, while other people were learning other people's songs. For me, I didn't enjoy that. You know, of course you had to learn other people's songs to improve on the instruments, but what gave me joy, what gave me happiness is writing my own songs. And I remember ever since I was a kid, you know, I was writing songs. And then, you know, I started, you know, recording my own songs and all that. And now, you know, people tell me, aren't you old enough to you know, stop playing music? I'm like, no, never.
Because
until my arm falls, I'm gonna always play guitar. I'm gonna always write songs, and I have to. It's something that I tell my friends, you know, that
it's part of you. It's
part of me. And I remember, you know, every day when I'm having a bad day, I pick up the guitar and I'm okay. You know, I just, you know, pick up my guitar, play something, and then I cool down. And what I play is heavy stuff, you know. I'm like, how is this making you cool down? I'm like, it is what I am.
It's crazy how heavy stuff can heal us, because it's the same thing for me and my husband. When we have to listen to extreme music to feel better just after, you know.
You know what I love about the metal community? I remember in 2008, I went to Wacken. You know, Wacken. I still have the, you know, these months we took from there. so and I'm sure in France you have Hellfest, but you have
I have everything here. Hellfest, Motocultor, everything.
nice. So and I was like, I tell my regular friends, you know, not the heavy people that like heavy metal, and I'm like, you know, I was in a place with 80,000 people, and the loudest music you can hear. But everybody there is so sweet. I mean, we made friends with people. I'm Lebanese. We had friends from Denmark, from China, and you know, people that didn't speak your language even, you know, like the Chinese, they didn't understand English. But when I remember Opeth were playing, and when Opeth came, they were singing every word, you know, but they didn't understand. So we didn't understand each other, but we spoke through the music that we like. You know, and we bonded in that music, and that's what I love about metal. And I tell them it's a community. I mean, you live in France, I live in Dubai. You're originally from Morocco, and I'm from Lebanon. But now we're friends. How did we become friends? You know, through our music, through the love of the music that we like. I don't think any style in the world,
have this
has that. You know, for us, heavy music is a way of life. You know, and I remember, you know, I'm sure we lost Eddie Van Halen, you know, and I was really, that day I was really sad. I'm like, who died? And I told them Eddie Van Halen. The people, who's Eddie Van Halen? He's the most famous guitarist in the world. Do you know him? I'm like, no. Why are you sad? Because I listen to his songs, you know.
Yeah.
I learn music by listening to not only Eddie Van Halen, but, you know, you get my Van Halen and other stuff. And, you know, when something like that happens, it's a community. The metal world is a community, and that's what's so beautiful about it. We're all connected, and we're all bonded by that loud music that we we love.
That's for sure. I'm 100% agree with you. And this is how we met with my husband. This is how, really. So how do you feel today with this pandemic situation about concerts not be allowed to
you know, I was talking to a musician and we all missed live shows, we all missed concerts, but I believe, and looking at the glass half full, I mean, this pandemic destroyed a lot of businesses and especially the live scene. Yesterday, on Wednesday, I was talking for someone, you know, that work on, you know, these road crew people and stage men and lighting people. And they're really affected, you know, those people haven't gotten paid in a year, because those people live because of tours, live because of live shows, and it's really affected them. But for us artists, looking at the glass half full, these live streams, before they weren't very popular. Now live streams are very popular, and you can just, you know, with a good sound from your house. I know. Look, nothing beats a live concert. Nothing beats going out and listening to the, you know, the intro tape of a band or the heavy drums, you know, the live shows and all that. But live streaming is actually something that's gaining a lot of attention nowadays. And, you know, for me, if, let's say I'm in Dubai, I can play a show for you. You're in France, you can listen to me. It's not as good as a live show, but it definitely... You know, this helps the time until hopefully, you know, this thing is over and we can actually get to live shows, you know, and performing and all that, you know, for our fans. For me, you know, I wanna start doing that, you know, get hire, you know, a couple of musicians, a drummer and all that, and start playing shows for people, because, you know, that drive, that sound of the crowd shouting and all that, you cannot
that's for sure.
You know, and people headbanging, people. For the French audience, j'aime le français beaucoup. J'aime le France beaucoup. I don't know if I said it right, but I love the French people. And for everyone to know, I'm just finished mixing and mastering my new single. It will be out. This is an exclusive for you. There will be a new single coming out on February 5, hopefully, for Greyfade. I will tell you the title now, but please keep on following my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for more details. It's called Disciples of Death. It's a very heavy song. I'm really proud of it. I'm very excited to share it with the rest of the world. So we will be making announcements, official announcements, sharing, you know, talking more about the song, sharing the cover and all that on my social media. But stay tuned for a new heavy, crushing, headbanging Greyfade song.